Ikuku Ado Peter side message to Rivers State indigents. His New Year message to Rivers State indigents, saying, "My dear people of Rivers State, the reason, especially the beginning of a new year, is a time to reconnect with family and friends and to renew the spirit of love, reignite bonds, and celebrate the gifts of life. It also offers us the time to reflect on the past year while we prepare for the new year, which marks a new season in our lives. Again, as we review the past year 2021, it is time to refocus on the dreams of our founding fathers. As a state, strive for new possibilities and redraw our aspirations for the future of our families and our dear river states. In the year 2021, Rivers civil servants who constitute the engine room of government suffered draconian policies in the hands of a regime that cared less for their welfare. In that year, close to 400 government-owned properties statutorily occupied by senior civil servants and their families were forcefully taken over and the occupants ejected. Today, those same official quarters have been gifted to politicians and those close to the government in a manner most demeaning and dehumanizing of the former legitimate occupants. Further, in their anti-labor and anti-civil servant policies, the Rivers State government promoted no single civil servant in 2021. The same sad situation in the last 5 years, and none has been officially sponsored for any training to enhance their capacity to function. The woes of Rivers pensioners, those men and women who gave their best years in the service of our fatherland, intensified in 2021 as the government held on onto about 12 months of their legitimate gratuity and pension. Teachers in state-owned university, demonstration, primary and secondary school were owed in 2021 just like in 2016 to 2020 as the government insisted on not paying them even in the face of a valid court order that they be paid. So, for more than 4 years, for your government cared less how those teachers and their families survived. As you know, the governor picks and chooses court orders to obey. He chose not to obey a valid court order asking him to reinstate sacked workers of Kenserua Polytechnic Bori staff of Rivers State Sustainable Development Agency and teachers of primary and secondary school of Polytechnic Bori University of Education, Rivers State University, amongst others. The state secretariat, upon once our pride, remained a shadow of that glorious past, abandoned, stinking, and deceptive. For the greater part of last year, that edifice remained in darkness as civil servants and visitors to the facility groped in darkness to access offices. It was that bad that workers had to be using torchlights to access the staircases. Several workers were kidnapped and the state government did not blink an eye. However, despite those harsh realities, our workers remained committed to their duties in the true never say die Rivers spirit. They offered their best to our states, to those dogged workers. Rest assured that ordinary Rivers people deeply appreciate you and the sacrifices you have made. All of us, residents of Rivers State, were confronted with the deadly stool pandemic. This had been on for years and responsible for the spike in respiratory diseases and premature death in Rivers. In such situation, our state government choose to look the other way. My prayer is for the Spirit of God to touch our state government and make them pay attention to the plight of our people. In the name of constructing flyover bridges in the city of Port Harcourt, the state government plunged the state into debt and future generations shall keep paying. Today, our total debt portfolio has hit about 400 billion naira. The most disheartening aspect in this sad story is that those flyovers were mere small screen to blindfold the citizen while they continue to loot the state treasury. They continue to pilfer our common purse and endeavored in their bid to evade the warning of good conscience. In 2021, our educational system remained in shambles. Could You could hardly find motivated teachers in our primary and secondary schools. Head of public primary schools in Rivers State received no grants to run their schools, forcing them to levy pupils through the government would claim they were running free education. It was with such monies that schools heads bought chalk and few teaching aids for their classrooms. No major capital project has been undertaken in our state University of Education, which is supposed to produce teachers. With their education completely neglected, the government must gauge the future of our youth. In 2021, no aspect of the state healthcare received due attention. Primary healthcare remained only a history, leading to avoidable deaths and recovered daily. Our governor looked the other way while Rome room bonds, and to cap his neglect and disdain of this critical sector, Mr. Governor sacked the state health commissioner on air and over a trifle. In 2021, no single sustainable employment was created by the state for the benefits of our teeming youth. The government created criminals of our youth, but let me say to them that no man can determine their destiny. The sun will definitely rise again. The state government's policies drove away businesses that would have created employment and wealth for our people. Operating under unfriendly business climate, they were forced to relocate out of the state. That scenario further worsened the state's unemployment catastrophe and heightened antisocial behavior among families. Poverty increased with an attendant upscale in deviant activities. Okay. Fellow indigents and residents of our state of great possibilities, even in the face of difficulties, let us renew our resolve to unite behind the vision of our founding fathers in pursuit of the greatest good of all our people. As a state, we have a crucial year ahead of us. It is a year that could be decisive in determining the future of our state and people. It shall be an opportunity for us to correct the mistakes of the past and choose a new path. Please renew your mind and know there are better days ahead. There is hope. Let us continue to go about our lawful businesses. Let us have hope, the hope of a pregnant woman hoping to deliver a beautiful baby soon, the hope of a thirsty man about to drink cool, clean water, a hope of a people that God will soon deliver from persecution and tribulations, the audacity of hope. May this new year bring through true happiness, peace, and prosperity to all indigents and residents of River State. I wish you a happy and prosperous new year. Dakuku Pizza Side, PhD, is message was written on the 1st of January 2022. Of course, I'm sure he's warming up for next year election. That's why this whole thing. The question is that if he gets there too, because he contested the last time he couldn't win, if he gets there too, he will behave worse. He will do worse. He will do worse. You know what I've been saying is that all of them will claim this. I would have done this. I've done that. I've done that. But when you look at the country generally, we are nowhere. We are even retrogressing. So you begin to ask yourself, what are these guys? What are they talking about? Buhari will say, oh, infrastructure, oh, all the states, oh, they will tell you, I'm building bridges, oh, I'm doing this, oh, I'm doing this, oh. At the end of the day, nothing to show for you, too. Because me, I just believe that this Peter side, too, is just warming up. He wants to relate with the people. Give him the opportunity now. You begin to speak a different language. Begin to sing a different song. When he has said, because most of all these things he has said, I'm not saying that they are true or they are not lies. The tendency of them being true is there. But at the end of the day, give him chance to do something else. He will begin to tell you another thing. You begin to feel big because that's just the only thing they want. They want to just to be proud. I'm the governor. I'm this. I'm that. Do you know who I am? You ask a Wike'S to Wike'S will give you 1001 things he has done in that state. At the end of the day, people, you can't see it or you can't feel it. You and I cannot feel it. The question is that if this one goes there now, the same thing, all of them from north to the west to the south to the east, the same story, the same story we are hearing, same story we are going to be hearing. Dakuku, the worst DG Nimasa has ever produced, the worst DG of Nimasa history. God will never allow you to be the governor of River State. Go rest somewhere, Joe. That's somebody's opinion there. So guys, let's say your opinion on this.